Did we bother you personally though?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can.
But see, like y'all want to kill gays. Y'all want to do all kind of crazy. Where are y'all from? What country?
It doesn't matter where we're from. It does not though. Why does it matter to you though?
I would have felt afraid for my life. When the folks got there, I said, man, I was afraid that this man was about to stop and get out his truck. I couldn't see his hands. He might have had something that could do me harm outside of him being in his truck. He sounded to be drunk on some meth or something, probably finna run me over. I stood my ground by way of law. And just like that, we back. What it do, people? How y'all doing out there, man? I hope everybody doing fine. You dig what I'm saying? It is our Jack Travis. And again, just like that, we back, man. You know, I'll start this episode off by saying, you know, this is a new venture right here. You dig what I'm saying? This is a new page. Had you been privy to my other page, and it's still operating. If you go and find it, I'll put the information in the link at the description and what have you. But if you was on the old page, you would have seen that from time to time, I take a turn into the political world. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not huge on it. I watch a lot of it. But as far as my opinions and all of that, I usually keep them a bit reserved. You understand what I'm saying? But every now and then, I see something out here in the political sphere that catches my attention, and I have to bring it to my folks. You dig what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of tomfoolery, tomfuckery going on. All of that. You dig what I'm saying? They said, the Bumble app or whatever, what they call it, grind. They say it go crazy when the conservatives are in town somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? Plenty of tumult out here in the world from these folks, and you got a lot of characters, man, that are just some of the how shall I say, not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they have certain comments, man, certain stuff that comes out about them, and it's just like, I mean, on one hand, it's not surprising because you know who you're dealing with, but it's just like, I mean, the lack of self-awareness, man, the having of no shame. It's amazing, bro. So, you know, I was sitting around today putting together some material, just a couple of topics. You dig what I'm saying? To come and put the show together for you all. Now that I've gotten past some technical difficulties, man, you listen, sidebar. Any prospective aspiring YouTubers, it's a beautiful journey. You dig what I'm saying? Plenty pitfalls and mishaps abound, though, in store for you. But the small technical issues, man, that you just have out of the blue, it's amazing. It's literally amazing. And then don't get into the habit of when something starts going wrong, start pressing buttons on your computer and your camera and all of that, because then you're going to create 2-3 other problems for yourself. You're going to end up shooting a video, getting into it and seeing that it's lagging, or it's just, I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. So, again, I'm back, man. And as I was sitting here putting together a couple things, man, looking through a couple topics, I had everything from speaking about mellow. I'm thinking about doing like a weekly roundup of news events, man, because I don't necessarily have a schedule to make a video about every topic, and I like to try and make a video and make it visually appealing and all that. Now I see a lot of low effort channels. They just put the video out and go with it and they rock out, man. I try not to do that, and so with that being said, I'm thinking about compiling everything into like a weekly type of news deal. You dig what I'm saying? But everything from Mellow, and we got Stephen A, the Sauce Walker situation, Young Scooter, some news about Lil Baby, Young Thug might be heading back in some WNBA conversation. No jumper news. So I had a couple things to talk about, and that sounded good as I was going down that rundown. I'll still probably jump on and do that after this. But as I was sitting here going through things, had my YouTube rolling in the background, I heard a reference to a one bleach blonde. What is it? Bleach blonde.
Bleach blonde, bad build. How you doing today? How you be? You didn't like that, huh?
That's it. I heard something about her ex-husband. Now, this is her current husband. That's Majin Buu. If you've never seen Dragon Ball Z, I implore you to go and check it out. You're going to see this fella here. You're going to see him in a cartoon that is 20, 30 years old. It's amazing. The time travel that this man has employed. That's the current guy. The old guy, I heard, and I saw a clip earlier, it said he went on this racist tirade. You understand? But I didn't click on it. I chose, kept doing other things in my life, but the algorithm brought it to my doorstep. And it began to play. And I decided right then, I'm just starting the page, just getting into it. And this is going to be a perfect jump off point to let my people know that from time to time, maybe more often than not, you're going to hear some political content come from me. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to try to make that thing as interesting as possible. I'm not going to try to tell anybody who to vote for or things like that. I'm just going to point out wild ass shit that's going on. That's it. That's all. We're not going to report any lies or any of that. We're going to report on what's going on. And if you don't like what's going on, voice your opinion. If you love what's going on, then I would love for you to get in my inbox, in my comments, and we can make great content together. We will debate. I want to get into all of that. So, you know what I mean? Take it for what it's will. But this video ushered me into being able to make my foray, as with my new effort, into this political side, because this is the type of stuff that just grinds my gears. I'm sure you all that may run across this video on the other side of things, you will relate to such a comment, to such a feeling. You know how it feels to have your gears grinded. That's y'all type of thing. That's your type of saying. So you understand where I'm at with this thing. But we ran across this video, and I said, man, this is just, this is indicative of the type of people that we're dealing with these days, and what forces my hand to opine on these certain situations, and have a certain level of how should I say, disappointment in what's going on these days, man. And so, I thought this was just utterly amazing, bro. Like, this is who we're dealing with, despite people shouting from the rooftops and from the top of mountains that, nah, this type of thing doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? This is gone.
That's really good.
Don't go back to your country because y'all believe in crazy. Question your authority. Go back to your country, please.
Okay.
We don't want y'all.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Yes. We don't want any Muslims.
Okay. Thank you. No one brought anything to you, brother.
It doesn't matter. I bring it to you. I don't want your shit.
Oh.
Nobody really wants your shit here.
Did we bother you personally, though?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can.
But see, like, y'all want to kill gays. Y'all want to do all kind of crazy. Where are y'all from? What country?
It doesn't matter where
Yes,
we're
it
from.
does.
It does not, though. Why does it matter to you, though?
That's because you're worshiping a false god.
No.
Yes, it is.
Are you Christian? All right, that's.
Don't be Christian thinking the shit's
Okay.
American. Don't come from your crazy countries and act like you're gonna bring your shit here.
Okay. Cool, bro.
No,
Have a nice day.
because y'all are pieces of shit.
Now I had to just go on and jump in there real quick. That is Perry Greene, ex-husband of Marjorie Taylor Greenes. And it's something that I just cannot, which of course I understand where it comes from, but they're quick to say no one. They're quick to speak for everyone. Now, of course, they're not speaking for a particular demographic of people. But somewhere in their feeble minds, they think that the like-minded individuals that they know of, that they speak in, they really think that those are actually the only people that exist in America. Never mind. Okay, in your mind, you think you're the only ones that matter. Okay, you can think that. But to literally walk around and go around out here as if that, 77 million people As if those are literally the only people walking the streets of the United States, bro. It's just so, I mean, it speaks to the depths, man. Like, and when you walk around and just create that false reality for yourself, I can see how you're such a snowflake to everything. Because in your mind, there's no way that you could look out your window and see something like this happening. In your mind, there's literally only chuds that drive Teslas and believe in your particular set of in your belief system. Like, it is so dangerous to walk the streets of a 330 million plus population of inhabitants here in the United States of America. That is a dangerous way to be.
You're the one attacking little girls.
Have a nice day.
Girls, like, I want y'all to think about what y'all's process is, what y'all are thinking. Y'all been
We know what we believe.
but don't come to America and believe this. Go back to your country and believe your crazy.
Okay, so that's fine. No one told you anything. We're sitting here. We were quiet. We were peaceful.
You're worshiping out here.
Praying. What does that have anything to do with you?
Go back to your country.
That's fine.
You're demolished Middle East.
First off, we're actually born here. We're born here. Yes, we were.
Why are you wearing all this not American?
It doesn't matter.
Be American.
Don't nuns wear covering themselves?
Be American. Don't be Afghani or whatever the
Not even
We're not Afghani.
You're not only racist. You're just anything.
It doesn't matter. Use the racist word, but be American. Don't be
Okay. I'm sorry if it's not on your standard. You can go ahead and leave. I don't know why you're wasting your time. Okay, then if you don't care so much, you can go ahead and enjoy your day.
you guys all day long.
Okay.
You know, it was somewhere right around this point where my mind started to say, you know what I wish would happen right now? I wish that she would stand her ground by way of the law. One of those three young ladies, in my head, I'm saying, hey, this would be a perfect opportunity to stand your ground by way of law. I would have felt afraid for my life. When the folks got there, I said, man, I was afraid that this man was about to stop and get out his truck. I couldn't see his hands. He might have had something that could do me harm outside of him being in his truck. He sounded to be drunk on some meth or something, probably finna run me over. I stood my ground by way of law.
Because your countries are so know where y'all from is so come here. Go back to your
I can call the cops. If you're gonna keep around, that's fine.
What are you talking about?
Just go about your day. What's the point? Are you gonna follow us? What's the point?
I'm trying to get out of
Do you want to learn about a religion?
Go back to your country.
Have a good day. Have a good day. That's okay. That's okay. Just leave him alone. Go have a good day. Oh my God.
Damn near at a loss for words. But what would just like that with your boy Jack Travis be without words? It just wouldn't work. You want words? We need words. Words are good. But let's go through some words what we just heard from Mr. Greene. Go back to your poor country. We don't want it here. Again, sir. You do not speak for the gander. It's not illegal to be a Muslim in the United States of America. I'm in no way any type of an advocate for the Muslim faith or the Christian faith or any other faith, to be quite honest. But I am most certainly somebody standing on business, treating people fairly and pointing out instances of blatant racism that we seem to see far too often here in these United States of America, man. You know, I think of words like, does he think everyone in America believes the way that he believes? I think we've established that as far as the people he thinks exist, or the people he thinks matter, yeah, he does think that. I wonder would he have done that if that were three males practicing their faith? Some tells me most certainly not. He might have done it with the windows up on the phone or jumped on Twitter and done it, but he most certainly wouldn't have done that, because you know, now in the Muslim faith, as far as I know, now I don't proclaim to be a highly knowledgeable individual when it comes to the Muslim faith. I can go from what I've observed and heard over the years. But from what I understand, you know, standing on business is not above them. As old boy said. Yeah, it's not above them. They'll get on your ass now. You understand what I'm saying? And go and live happily ever after in the hereafter as far as what their teachers tell them, if I'm correct. So I highly doubt that Mr. Greene would have pulled that had it been people of the same gender as he. I don't know. He don't seem to be that much of a guy. Maybe he's a female. Maybe it might have been a trans driving it. We'll have to do some more research. I'll get back to y'all about that particular part. But like I said, man, I would have stood my ground though. If I don't want them little shop stops, you dig what I'm saying? Now, they probably don't. They may not have anything around them. I won't name anything in particular, but I would have stood my ground. And, you know, that bring, you know, I watch a lot of these things, and it may be something bad to wish for because, you know, shit, 0 to 100 immediately. But I'm always watching these situations. I'm like, I sure wish I would get Karen or Ken one day. I sure would, because it would be a teachable moment. You know what I'm saying? It would be a teachable moment for everyone. Everyone that got to view the material and the outcome of that situation. I think it'd be a teachable moment for everyone. And you know, but I think they pick and choose the type of people that they choose to bring that to, a la this situation. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, I scrolled. Speaking of Twitter, I said about Twitter. I scrolled Twitter. Twitter's got a lot of info on it. It's ran by, yeah, but it's a lot of info on that site. You know, and I ran across a tweet. It said something about the makeup of the United States here by the year 2045. And this is what it said. Yeah, they wasn't happy to hear that. But I've heard about this and the decline in birth rates and stuff like this, man. And you know, it begs the question. It makes you wonder. You know what I'm saying? And if you do enough looking into it, perhaps this is why. You know, things like abortion are trying to be forced out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if the people that are pushing for that, they've got to realize that if no one can get abortions, then that means everyone's having children, not just white people, right? But I guess they're like, whatever. As long as we can have more of us, the better fight we can put up or what have you. But it's interesting, that little development, that little stat, man. And you know, when you look at it like that, you can understand why you hear a lot of the replacement theory, and you know, all of it makes sense, man. And you know, but we have to point out these things when we see them, and not let them go idly by. You dig what I'm saying? But there are those of us out here, like the black moggers. You know what I'm saying? You let them tell it. This doesn't exist. Like, you know, these. You're overplaying your hand. You're always playing the race card. Race beta. That's what they quick to call. You know what I'm saying? And I was scrolling, and I saw this tweet right here.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Nature is healing. Remember when Black Lives Matter Plaza looked like this? Ooh, yikes. A scar on the face of DC. Well, here is the remnant, the ruins of Black Lives Matter Plaza. Today, let's go do a tour.
I think it's important to note from a geographic location standpoint that you just can't get better real estate than what is the remains of Black Lives Matter Plaza. It's just beautifully situated right across from the White House and some of our most historic monuments. It's also right next to St. John's Episcopal Church, one of the oldest and most renowned churches in all of the country. Every single president that's ever been elected has prayed there. Black Lives Matter tried to burn that church to the ground. They lit it on fire. Black Lives Matter is a Marxist, fraudulent, grifter, terrorist organization. They should not have monuments in our country. It is a scar on the face of our nation to give them a monument or a plaza. And now you can see that all of the BLM signs are gone.
Yeah, man. Benny Johnson, Curmudgeon Jr. You dig what I'm saying? Very punchable face guy. Would love to see him somewhere. Maybe we'll meet up one day as I traverse through this YouTube world. Now you say what you will about the misappropriation of funds we heard about involved with the BLM movement, or one Patrice Cullors, and I forget the others' names. But the mistake Benny makes, and everyone in his ilk, is that, for one, BLM, Black Lives Matter, as far as the group, the organization that you could go and I guess get a card to or send your dues to, that wasn't a black people thing. Like, let's get together and make a group to send money to so that we can go and do things around. Some people capitalized on that opportunity, and without me doing a full audit of what these young women did with that money, I can't say that the only thing they did was ball out and go buy houses and all of that. And honestly, it doesn't matter. What would they have done with all of this money anyway? Get what? Get a lawyer team together and go and free all the wrongfully convicted black people? I don't think we have pipe dreams of anything major like that. It's the small microaggressions that we need to get out of the way, a la what we just watched. But as far as that organization, bro, it's not as if they try to use that to be representative of black people and our struggles and our gripes and our frustrations as it pertains to the United States of America and the treatment. And so, since you could shoot them down because these women got, like I said, caught misappropriating funds, if you will, then apparently that's the plight of, or that's the definition of all black people out here. They're just full of shit, just trying to use the race card, bait the system into giving them something. And like, bro, and that's where you make the mistake. The Black Lives Matter was pertaining to the overall treatment that we face in the community from police and their involvement in our lives, the over-policing of our communities, you dig what I'm saying? Into the workplace and just the whole systemic organism, ecosystem. I was about to mix the two, that's why I kind of got caught up. And so that's what the term Black Lives Matter means. It's not just the organization that if you can discredit that organization, then every gripe that black people have from then on out is irrelevant because of this. It's just such a feeble way of thinking, man. Oh my God, bro. It is just, and then you heard him say a terrorist organization that has no place in our country. I took that as if black people don't have a place in the country. They most certainly don't have a place to protest. And 2045 is rapidly approaching, man. You see these characters everywhere, bro. So, you can't really take them too serious. We know that a character like Benny Johnson, like all of them are keyboard warriors, behind the camera warriors, with just very punchable faces from birth. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to their moms, man.
All of the hideous yellow brick is gone and has been replaced by brand new rubberized bumpers here and clean brick laid very quickly. I didn't know that Washington, D.C. could get to work so fast on removing something, but I guess if you have the right motivation, anything can happen. So this is the extent of the 2 blocks that BLM Plaza stretched. This is the first block, and then the second block you can see also clean as a whistle. This is a moment of healing for our nation because divisive Marxist terrorists should not get prime real estate in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what healing looks like. Although, I guess I will note, there still is a little bit of vandalism, which is on brand. This is actually a proper representation of the Black Lives Matter movement. Just a little bit of vandalism to remind us.
Look at that. Doesn't it look so nice now? Mornings like these, I'm so thankful for the president and his team. Without them, their fortitude, their rock-ribbed patriotism, and their adherence to American values, not Marxist values, and not identitarian politics values, this would have never happened. This would have stayed a hideous monument, a scar on the face of DC for the rest of time. This is what sanity returning looks like. This is what strength looks like. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what a great American future looks like. Proud to support the president. Thankful for his team and everything that they are doing. And ladies and gentlemen, let's make Washington, D.C. beautiful again. Nature is healing. See ya.
And so you see that he finishes up his drivel. Just diarrhea of the mouth. More Benny Johnson-esque antics, right? But as I was scrolling that tweet in the comments, I happened to have seen a comment from a guy, from what I understand, a black gentleman. I'll give him gentleman. I'll call him a gentleman. Because I call him various other things online. I ain't going to hold you. But he's a water carrier for the MAGA movement, being a black man. And y'all know we particularly despise those types, right? But here lately, I've noticed this young man, because there's really nowhere to run these days. You dig what I'm saying? If you're still up here upholding the movements being made right now, the state of the country, and swearing that there's some silver lining in it, you're an obvious fool. And so, with that being said, a number of people are starting to tone down all this wild talk that they were having, because you have nothing to say now. Black MAGAs have no one to champion and brag on as being put in administration. They can't brag about prices coming down or anything being done. And it's kind of catch-22 when you're a black MAGA. You can't celebrate. Yeah, it's just, I won't even go down that rabbit hole. But I saw his comment, right? And then there was also a comment that said, man, well, he commented. And he rarely gets replies. I went to his page. He rarely gets replies. He longs for the acceptance of the white MAGA crowd. But they, maybe 2, 3 people may put a stupid little comment in there. It's just some bot type action. You dig what I'm saying? They rarely pay attention to him. Like I said, the new black MAGA is pretty much dead in the water. It's over with. The old raccoons, got all of that food that was left on the ground. All the little morsels, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing left. But it was interesting that the minute he spoke up about a black issue, something that he felt he took issue with Benny Johnson and his stances and the way he was out there acting on Black Lives Matter Boulevard. You dig what I'm saying? And the minute that he jumped into the comments and said something defending black people or taking umbrage with something, you should have saw the replies. And it was so interesting, man, because it's like, dude, you go hard all day, every day against Jasmine Crockett's and Kamala Harris's and just anybody you can name on the left side of things that's a black person. He go hard on them. The minute he spoke up for the black cause, his followers that rarely reply to anything, oh man, it was full of replies. They on his head. And it's like, bro, look at this. Look at the way they talk to you as soon as you try to speak up for something like that. But racism don't exist out here. Y'all not tokens. They don't just use y'all for votes. To throw you in front of the camera to make it look like these are the smart black people. The ones off the plantation. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But I thought that was an interesting little turn, interesting little development to this thing, man. But like I said, this was my jumping off point to bring further material to y'all about this very, very wild political atmosphere we got going on in the United States of America, and I guess worldwide right now, man. There's characters all on the world stage. So until then, man, just like that, I'll get at y'all soon.